Hello, and welcome to another episode of JRPG. I'm sure clicking on this video you were curious about what Yokai Watch is. However you may have heard about it, you came seeking answers, and I'm glad you did. In this video, I want to bring attention to the franchise that is Yokai Watch, what it's based on, and explain a little bit about its impact so far on the markets outside of Japan. In Japan, Yokai Watch exploded in popularity, and now it's slowly fading away. But here in the States, it came out only with a quiet release recently, and has yet to achieve popularity. Whether you came seeking information or answers, my goal is to give you a deeper look into what Yokai Watch is, and compel you to give it a try. Not to mention hopefully answer your curiosity into what Yokai Watch is as well. To talk about what Yokai Watch is, we must first talk about what yokai are.
Yokai are a collection of Japanese supernatural monsters and spirits that have become prominent in folklore and mythology as early as the 18th century. Yokai as a group is basically made up of anything like goblins or fairies, and in more of a relatable Western mythological sense, some yokai would also be on par with urban legends as well. Yokai, also spelled yokai, rose in popularity in the early ages of Japan to explain things that occur all around. This explanation gives a personification to certain behaviors or elements and defines them in the early years of the land of the rising sun's culture, and this belief is also seen in many other cultures as well. Yokai have influenced many different forms of entertainment throughout the years, like Super Mario Bros. And Resident Evil. But its biggest acknowledgments come from Pokemon and Yokai Watch. Though not as blatant as Yokai Watch, if you've ever played Pokemon before, some Pokemon are closely based or resemble some of these yokai, such as Dusclops, Frostlass, and Ghastly.
Yokai are prevalent entities in Japanese culture, and are just as recognizable to citizens today as they were centuries ago. Next, we will look at the Yokai Watch video game and its impact on the Western market thus far. Yokai Watch is a game based in these Japanese fables and sets them in a modern age.
With Nintendo's release of Yokai Watch here in the United States, Nintendo of America has stated that, quote, "Yokai are not ghosts, monsters, or creatures. Yokai are, quite simply, yokai." End quote. This statement negates the relevancy of yokai in a Japanese meaning to avoid any religious or condescending connections.
Whatever your perspective, yokai are mischievous and unique creatures that have inspired various Yokai Watch games in Japan, but just one here in the States so far.
Yokai Watch's game centers on a main protagonist, whether male or female depending on the player's choice. This protagonist finds a gashapon machine, a vending machine that dispenses capsules with toys or other items. They then insert a coin. The prize that this character receives is life-changing, as they receive a yokai. From this point forward, the player learns of the existence of yokai and what they are, and deals with situations where yokai are influencing the world around them. In the game, the protagonist acquires yokai friends by battling yokai. The game's mechanic centers around this idea, and similar to Pokemon, it has an open atmosphere and character battles.
A common response that I get about the demo is that it wasn't very good. And I agree. But when I got my copy of my game and played it, it gave me a sigh of relief because it was everything I had initially wanted out of it. You could befriend and train your guys, build your team. It was related in story to other Yokai Watch media. Things like this. As mentioned earlier, Yokai Watch has come out with the video game, but it hasn't been as popular as you might think.
Some rough sales figures have been released, but it is unknown how accurate these numbers may be, so it should be taken with a grain of salt.
However, it does put an idea of how unpopular this game is, which is quite unfortunate because it's really an enjoyable game.
This game also places low on websites like Gamefaqs and IGN as far as message board and wiki communication traffic is concerned. On the IGN Yokai Watch wiki, I had been editing it before and around the time of early leaks for Yokai Watch. In my time editing, I've accumulated a small number, but nonetheless still sit at position number 2 on IGN's wiki.
I've beaten the game and I'm working on the post game right now. I've spent about 35 plus hours working on it right now. I'm playing through the post game and trying to befriend all 200 plus yokai. I have a few minor complaints about the game, but overall I've enjoyed it, and it's a nice change of pace from what I normally play and brings enough new things to the table to keep it fresh from the rest of the games of its genre. Yokai Watch has also come out in other forms in the West as well. Toys, comic books, a TV show, and an app. And much more. Let's look at some of these examples. Yokai Watch has had a pretty bountiful merchandise release here in the West. Toys, TV show, an app, and a video game. For not doing so well, it still has plenty for people to enjoy. I actually had the good fortune to happen on a Walmart that was closing, and everything on the store was on sale. I found that there was still a lot of Yokai Watch stuff left, while a majority of the store had been cleared out, which is kind of sad, and it just further reiterates what I said before about it being not that popular. I mean, a lot of the store was cleared out. You go to the electronics department and it was all cleaned out except for like a few straggler games that nobody clearly didn't want because everything in the store was half off. And, ammo was gone and food was gone. People were tearing stuff up. Like the toys section was just toys thrown all over the place. And so the Yokai Watch section was pretty much untouched. It had like half of its stock still there, sitting in these displays, and that was it. Like, there was a whole lot of stuff left for the store being closed and a bunch of stuff just being bought. At this Walmart, I was able to get 4 packs of Yokai Watch medals, which are used in this Yokai Watch. As you can see, it simulates the anime and will allow you to put medals in and hear the tribe chants for each of the yokai tribes. Jibanyan, Komasan, and Whisper plushies, all for half off. I also got this awesome display for free, which is where I house some of my extra yokai medals and stuff. There's the side of it. They also had a lot of Yokai Watch posters, but I already have a lot of posters to begin with, if not too many posters, so I didn't get any. Except for maybe this one that comes with the Yokai Watch itself. These are just some of the toys that Walmart has to offer. Some other stores like Target and Toys R Us have store exclusive toys. Those toys you can only find at those stores. And so there's still a lot of merchandise out there, ones that, aside from the ones that I've shown you so far. But to harken back to my other episodes, however, be sure to keep an eye out for these rare times where you can get a lot of things cheap, whether it's games or merchandise or what have you. Just keep an ear to the ground and find out what you can hear, find out what's going on in your local area, local community, and maybe you can happen on a way to save some money and get some stuff pretty cheap and good quality. Hopefully you can get a good find or a good haul like I did, and I've done prior, shown in other videos. Next, we will look at the Yokai Watch anime.
The Yokai Watch anime in the West is an edited version of the Yokai Watch anime from Japan. What is included in the anime, however, is exactly taken from the Japanese and tells the whole story of Nathan Adams and his yokai pals.
The Yokai Watch anime has also come out with 2 movies as well, and it would be great to see them localized and brought over here to the States and to the UK and wherever else you are. If not in theaters, they should at least be on TV, at least be able to promote something on TV. My personal opinion about the Yokai Watch anime though, when I first saw it, I wasn't completely sold, and that's why when I got the game, I was happy. It was everything I wanted it to be. And to me, I kind of thought the anime was kind of choppy, I guess, a little bit, but the redeeming factor are the movies. The movies are great, at least the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I'm sure it's just as good. Like I mentioned before, when the demo came out, I kind of questioned Yokai Watch. I was curious if this was really going to be as big as it was in Japan, and if I would find it enjoyable. But when I gave the game a chance, I was completely sold. I was actually one of 2 people that actually pre-ordered the game at GameStop, my GameStop. And so it may not be as popular, but I was like, this is it. This iteration of it is probably one of the best. And I would say the manga would be next. As I've continued to spend time with the anime though, I've come to see it as a worthwhile investment and something to look forward to more episodes and more adventures with Nate Adams and his friends. The thing that I can only stress about Yokai Watch is that you give it a chance and let it be what it is, and don't have any preconceived expressions or notions about it. Don't take things and put your own spin on them. Just let it be what it is and see where it takes you. Because who knows, you might just be surprised by it, but be open to things. Not just criticize it when our culture is a completely different culture. I mean, the game itself is based on Japanese culture very heavily, and so to put any preconceived notions in there, it's going to change how you feel about it. Give it its chance to impress you, and you won't regret it. With Yokai Watch toys, you can now pretend and collect your yokai friends.
Hasbro filed for the trademark for the toys before Yokai Watch even released in the States, and is the primary provider of such toys. The Yokai Watch toys range from the Yokai Watch and medallion to plushes and more. Yokai Watch even came out with board game editions of some of their popular games, such as Monopoly Junior and the Game of Life. Monopoly Junior Yokai Watch Edition simulates the idea of Yokai Watch, obtaining yokai friends while you go around the board and collecting them in your own Yokai Watch. Not much is known, however, about the Yokai Watch version of the Game of Life's play mechanics and if they are different from the standard game.
This stuff and what I mentioned earlier are all part of the North American release of Yokai Watch toys by Hasbro. Watch of Yokai has released news recently, as of February 2016, about new Yokai Watch toys. Some of these toys include new action figures, a Yokai Watch card game made for America that is different from the Japanese version, more toys with exclusive medals, a new Yokai Watch, more Yokai medals, an actual watch that has Yokai on it, and much more. The Yokai Watch comic book, or manga, was translated into English pretty quickly and is readily available in stores and online. I received my copy as a gift for Christmas, but they can be obtained at Walmart and on sites like Amazon. The third manga has also recently been released in the States in January 2016, with a fourth one coming out in March of the same year. And a lot more on the way. The manga follows a story as closely as any other medium in the franchise, with a few stories told in a different order, and with a manga flair added to it as well.
The Yokai Watch app, Yokai Watch Land, is free to everyone and available on both iOS and Android. The app is set up like an amusement park, and you can do several things in this park. The main section is the carnival. The befriend zone allows you to summon yokai. Using medals, you can use the camera on your phone to allow yokai to appear in a 3D space, or flip them over to catalog them in your Yokai Watchland game. The trophy section allows you to view your prizes. All the stickers that you will have accumulated through play are in here. The photo booth, you can take pictures of yourself, family members, and friends, and dress them up with any accumulated yokai or stickers to make everyone look more like a yokai. The arcade consists of 3 sections: Robo Choco, Capsule Escape, and Manjames. In Robo Choco, you first pick a tribe, then select a character, a yokai, from the ones you've accumulated. In this game mode, you play as Robonyan, who wants some chocolate, but does not have any. And so, using a vacuum, he sucks up all the cocoa beans to turn them into chocolate. You must turn your phone side to side to guide Robonyan's vacuum to suck up this chocolate. In Capsule Escape, you play as Whisper, who has put money in a gashapon machine. After turning the crank, no prize comes out, so he shrinks down to pull it out. In doing so, he falls down with his prize, and you guide him to the end of the machine. In Manjames, Manjamut and Noko are playing Pinballinko, which is the yokai version of Pachinko. When Manjamut sees that Noko is doing better, so he gets the idea to mess with Noko's game. You play in Noko's game and fling the yokai medal around to accumulate coins and points by hitting bumpers and various other obstacles. The Wiki section allows you to learn more about different yokai. You can see pictures of every single yokai, a bio about them, from all the different tribes. It is this section here that will also have the cataloged yokai from your scanning. In the background of this carnival, you can see several pictures of different yokai, including Robonyan and others. In the day and age where cell phones are just at our fingertips, it gives everyone the ability to have Yokai Watch in their hands. Other Yokai Watch merch can also be acquired on eBay through importing, where you'll find even more of what we covered, such as model kits, plushes, kigurumis, and more. A great amount of these items never came to the States, and may not ever come if yokai's popularity doesn't increase. If you would like to add a rare item, get more of the same, or even get some yokai merch early, eBay is a great site to use for these reasons.
Some other people on YouTube are also trying to raise awareness of Yokai Watch and contribute to promoting it. Different people are joining the cause to help Yokai Watch do well abroad.
Like Abdallah has done a lot of videos about all kinds of Yokai Watch merchandise. You can click this picture here to be taken to his channel, where he has a lot of different videos exploring everything Yokai Watch in greater detail.
Abdallah has also gone as far as using the hashtag LocalizeYW2 to show that people want more Yokai Watch here in the States and in other countries. I, for one, will be using the hashtag as well to help the sequel see a release. Well, that about does it for this episode. I hope it was able to provide an insightful look into the world of Yokai Watch. I challenge you to check out this franchise. Whether you rent the game or borrow it from a friend, you watch the anime, or even try the app, even getting the toys. There's a lot to love about Yokai Watch, and I hope you'll give it a try.
A big special thank you to Abdallah for the use of his footage. A special thanks to Watch of Yokai for the reference to their website.
Remember, Yokai is why. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next JRPG.